it's Mr. Bill Reesman in the red. Julie Reesman, welcome to the stage.
Hey, Rob, isn't it just like those MiGs to sneak up on this doggone it? It's about 10 minutes early. Hey, just picture this, you guys. Bill Reesman, Air Force fighter pilot, about 34 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. And he was sitting in these intelligence rooms every morning, trying to figure out how to take that very aircraft he's flying right there today out of the sky. And if you and I would have gone down there and said, hey, son, guess what? One day you're going to fly that airplane. Not just fly, you're going to fly it at air shows. I think he'd think we were like Martians or something.
Well, it happened, and that Soviet-built airplane that was such an incredible adversary during the Vietnam War and against the F-100s that your husband flew, now he's at the controls, he's turned the tables and brought it back to America and turned it into one of the most impressive aircraft anywhere in the industry. Bull.
Red Bull.
That's right.
Red Bull. That's what I meant. I just didn't get the red out.
Yes, I'm sorry. The microphone must not have been on there. Red Bull. It gives you wings, doesn't it?
I have no idea what these two are talking about. All I can say is Disneyland lost a lot of money when Bill got this MiG, you guys. This particular aircraft, by the way, was built in Poland, Czechoslovakia, China, of course Russia, and this is Bill's second MiG. His first one was a Chinese-built aircraft, and I gotta tell you, every year we look for cracks, corrosion, everything, anything that could go wrong with the aircraft. Bill took it up on a test top, and about, I don't know, another 100 feet, that's where he was, right there, the darn thing blew up.
It blew up.
Fire. It did. 40-foot of flame. Bill Reesman broke the record for 52-year-old men in a 100-yard dash getting out of that thing.
I bet he did. But it's a really an amazing airplane. One of the first swept-wing fighters was this one's predecessor, the MiG-17 from the Korean War. But this one, the Russians really perfected the design from the Mikoyan-Gurevich. Did I pronounce that right?
Mikoyan-Gurevich. That's right. Capital reply Big G.
Big G. Two guys doing the design for this airplane, and it really was king of the skies at the beginning of the Vietnam War.
And I think they had a $100,000 reward for anybody that defected one. Did you know that?
I think somebody did that, right?
Well, they didn't defect. They did not have to pay the $100,000. But I got to tell you, Bill said this thing's like a tank with a set of wings on it, and he's really, really glad he never came up against one because would have eaten for lunch.
Well, let's talk about that tank. When you talk about tank, you think of armament, very strong, very rugged, and very potent in terms of its weapons. Now, did this carry any weapons?
It's got 3 cannons, you guys. 2 20mm on the right. 1 big dog, 37 showing us our new belly logo. Look at Bill Reesman. Just can't get this stuff shown off. I like that Mullen sun. This is a perfect aircraft for Red Bull, I think. And you know what? There's no fuel in the wings, so if they took a hit, that's why that whole Top Gun thing came out. They couldn't figure out why these things wouldn't, blow up, but they could. They didn't have any fuel, so they'd last until the ground, or I don't know. Let me tell you something about this. Inlet engine, if you can get close to it, there's a hole in there, and they used to use chains and ropes, believe it or not, and oxen as a tow vehicle.
To get it out of to drag it out onto a runway from the mud?
Yeah, I was hoping we can get a cow this year, maybe simulate that. They bought the afterburner. Catch us off guard because they didn't have it in an airport, right? And they say, hey, Red Bull gives you wings. There's Bill Reesman with his wings today.
Oh, boy. Here's that afterburner. I was talking about the afterburner when we saw Ken Shockley in the Shockwave Jet Truck. And all that flame coming out of there, that's throwing raw jet fuel right into the exhaust and it causes that big flame. Now that gives it a lot of go real quick, but it also uses up a lot of gas.
Well, we call that suck, bang, blow. Suck in the air, bang underneath those bum, blow the air out, VK1F, Plymouth engine, believe it or not. It's like a garbage disposal. I think you can throw your drink cans in there. It just spits them out the back.
About 7,000 pounds of thrust, and so it really made it going. And this airplane can go supersonic.
It is. It's the Russians' first supersonic jet aircraft, operational that is. And I got to tell you, these aircraft, they had to, right up the back of the they had to be, the pilots would have, they'd have to be married, and they were short-lived on fuel on purpose because they did not want them to defect since it was a communist country.
Yeah, there was something about they felt they needed to put a short leash on anybody in a communist country because they knew that people were outside of the communist countries fighting for freedom.
Kind of amazing. I mean, think about that. There's Bill Reesman flying F-100s. He had 320 combat missions in 1 year, folks. 1 year. What do you think, Sandy?
He's not done yet.
Oh, we can't get him out of the sky. It's a good thing it does run out of fuel because we never get Bill Reesman out of the sky. There he goes. This is what we call our low show, folks. Tomorrow, hopefully, you'll get to see the high show. And Bill Reesman does the world's only jet fighter night pyrotechnic aerobatic act in the whole world. And I got to tell you, I never get tired of that one.
Oh, it's just beautiful. What we see on the plane today looks like it's about 20 feet out the back. At night, you see all the flame, and it looks about double that length.
You know, we should talk about the gauges in the cockpit as well. They're still in Cyrillic. There's some Russian gauges in there. And we like to tease Bill because I asked him, how on earth do you read them? He goes, I don't need to read them. I just pull that stick back, the buildings get smaller, and I push the stick forward, and the buildings get bigger, and then I know I'm okay.
You know, he is really an incredibly talented pilot. The F-100 Super Sabre was the United States Air Force's first supersonic aircraft in level flight, and it was a squirrely airplane to fly. It didn't have a huge tail on it like the MiG has. A much smaller tail, and it could get out of control pretty quickly. But Bill Reesman's one of those guys that really knows how to fly combat.
Saber dance? Didn't they call it the saber dance? When
they did.
Doink, doink, doink.
Yep, that was a very, very famous film back in the 1950s of that F-100 getting out of control and actually crashing on takeoff. And it developed a reputation as being a pretty squirrely airplane.
We have a new call sign for Bill Reesman this year.
What's that?
Pitbull. Pitbull, patience hack. I'm going down to kill something. That's his motto now. Flaps down, gear down, speed brakes out. We're going to slow roll her here. Right over the top.
This is aerodynamic, what we call routine.
You know, we have a two-seat MiG-17 now, and in Vietnam, we have to say 10-to-1 in Korea, Carol ratio, and in Vietnam, it dropped down to 1.5-to-1, which is why we have, red flag in the Miramar Top Gun School, and we train everybody because of this little airplane you're looking at right there.
Yep, the tact.
Now, he's not counting these as combat missions, is he?
No, yeah, probably.
Anytime you get in the air, well, you know, it's any pilot logs any kind of time he has from the time the engine starts to the time the engine shuts down. So, you know, maybe this is what he calls combat. It's as close as most of us will ever get.
I call it lucky. We're all jealous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we had the opportunity to get behind the controls of a jet like this, we surely would. Nose comes up on the MiG-17. Watch him put it into inverted flight, roll it, hold it there, half a roll. Now watch him roll it out. Throws that stick over to the left.
You know, he is pulling 8 to 9 Gs during his routine, so I do want to let everybody know. He does wear a G suit as well. He does not arm the seat. He doesn't believe that those of us that are lucky enough to fly these aircraft should have them armed because you should go in with them, make sure you don't get any on the ground. And last year, can we talk about our other aircraft?
Yeah, I'm sure we
These
can.
planes, I'm telling you, they're really, really tough. He landed, figured out he didn't have any brakes. They're kind of like an expander tube. They're unusual. It's an older technology. And he went off the runway about a mile in the dirt, folks. Not a scratch on the plane. He stopped right about the 805 freeway?
Very close to it. But interestingly, you know, you talk about being cool. He realized when he was landing he was out of brakes, and he was telling the air boss, Mike Setman, up in the tower, and he was just saying, I got it, no problem. Rolled off the end, and you were talking about that ruggedness of the airplane. That's the way they built it, because there were so many places in Russia and in the Soviet bloc where the runway conditions were just not good.
You know what I think's about to happen here? I think we got us a race. I just saw Bill popping that smoke out. Is that jet car out there? I saw them this morning at the hotel room. They had their
Were they
dukes up.
arguing?
They were. Here we go again.
Oh my gosh.
Guess what? I'm a little bit biased, and I'm rooting for that MiG, ladies and gentlemen. You have to apologize. I don't really care about that jet car. I want that MiG to win this year.
Well, let's see if we're going to see it down there.
I saw him dust him off, and he was waggling his wings, and that usually means I'm going to get you this time.
Well, that means there's a grudge match going. Now, this is the first time I've ever seen a jet plane race a jet truck. So this is going to be interesting to see how this works out and the kind of acceleration that we're going to be able to get from that jet truck driven by Kent Shockley from Galena, Kansas. 36,000 horsepower.
Really? Really?
And 19,000 pounds of static thrust.
There
So
he goes.
it outpowers this by the MiG-17, the Red Bull MiG, by about better than 2-1.
Unbelievable.
But he's got the ground on the, he's got that friction of the ground.
Justin, one more time. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, this is kind of fun. He's looking at a ground target. It's fun to go after there and dive on something. But take a look at the world's biggest Bic lighter.
I know, he's sitting on a big old blowtorch, isn't he?
He sure is. There it is. Scooting down to the left.
That's a taunt.
Oh, yeah.
Justin, Bill. Yeah. There's a few
Now, I don't know how
Now
much.
I'm jealous. I want to be in there. That looked like it felt good. All right, Kent, let's see what you can do, baby.
How many of you folks think that the jet truck can win the race? Maximum speed of the jet truck has been 376 miles per hour. It set a world record that stood until last year. And look at the flames, look at the power. 3 J-34 jet engines.
No, I have another comment.
Okay, go ahead.
How many think, who has more fuel left in their tank? That might be the determining factor too, huh?
It could be. Ken Shockley has about 120 gallons of diesel fuel to feed all 3 of those engines for his race and the pre-show. Look at that.
At $5 a gallon?
Yes.
Yikes.
Feel the heat, Miramar. Watch it. Let's hear some pops on this one.
Business.
I think he does. He's going to go down there, and I think they're going to be racing down runway 24. It'll be from the left to the right.
Listen, if anybody can collect some money for Bill in case he loses, because he'll need therapy, not need money to lose to a truck. Supersonic jet, come on.
Oh boy. Kent's taking over the reins for his dad in this 7,000-pound vehicle. Look to the left. I think we got us a race.
In the hole. There we go.
Down low. Let's see who's going to do it. Bill Reesman's backed off the power a little bit. Smoke's on.
Yeah. Where's that burner? Put it on,
And
Bill.
race is on. Let's see how we do it. Oh boy. Bill Reesman holding it back. Take some pictures of this. Oh boy. Look at that. I think the jet truck won, but I think that your husband laid back and it was a gimme for the jet truck because he wasn't pushing it up.
Look, I think this was just a test today. Oh, tonight.